Hi, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're here with me live. My name is Chris. I'm with AffinityHM.com. And tonight we're going to talk about Cpap. We're going to chat about Cpap. This is the Cpap chat about You Got This. So, what I wanted to do tonight is really just share some information with you guys, listen to your comments. Hopefully, you can share some of your experiences with CPAP. Maybe you're having problems. And there are a number of people on this video right now who are able to answer questions if you're having problems, especially if you're new. Perhaps you're here from the Facebook group CPAP for Beginners, and that's Affinity HM's group that we started and that we sponsor. And I'm seeing a lot of questions and a lot of really great answers over there. Possibly you're here from CPAP Therapy, also a Facebook group. You may be watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. Hi, Elon. How are you doing? But wherever it is that you're watching from, if you're interested in CPAP, think maybe you may have sleep apnea, or maybe you know someone who has sleep apnea, then definitely stay with us through this video. It's not going to be super long. We're going to hit on some really good points. I'm going to tell you a few good stories about CPAPs that I've set up in the near recent past, and also in the far distant past. And I think you'll probably find them interesting, to say the least. So welcome to the show tonight. Also, I wanted to share with you that if you would like to enter a contest that we're going to have at the end to win a gift card to AffinityHM.com, just type into the comments hashtag CPAP. You see it right there, right there, right there at the bottom of the screen. And just type that into comments exactly that way, and you'll automatically be entered into the gift card contest. So let's see who is with us. And if you would also comment on here what city you are located in. And I'd like this to be pretty interactive. I see we have Belty Cat here. Hello, Belty. Loretta is here. Thanks for being here, you guys. Jane is here. Hello, Jane. So far we have just a few people, and that's great. Appreciate you being here. And let's go ahead. I see that Jane is from Spartanburg. All right. That actually, I've been through that town. That is a neat town. Driving from Robertsdale, Alabama, which is way south, very far south in Alabama, on our way to North Carolina. And that was as far as I could get before I was like about to fall asleep, and it was time to stop. And so that's actually where we stayed one night. People were super, super, super nice there. Enjoyed that a lot. We have William. Welcome, William. William is from Ontario, Canada. Wow. What is the weather like up there, William, right now? I'm curious. Today here, South Alabama, it was 84 degrees. Also today, you guys, new grandbaby. I drove to the state next door to see our brand new born today grandbaby girl, and my wife and I are super excited. That's why I'm a little, I've been driving all day, so maybe not the same energy that you guys are used to. But William says that up in Ontario, Canada, it's windy today. Yeah, it's been windy around here, but not so much today. All right, we also have, look here, we have Herb from Deerfield, New Hampshire. That's awesome. Thank you for being here, you guys. All right, so I tell you what, if you didn't catch that, what I said earlier, make sure that you type into comments hashtag CPAP, just like you see right there on the screen. And somebody tonight is, as every Thursday night we do this, somebody is going to win a gift card to AffinityHM.com, where we sell all kinds of stuff, all kind of CPAP stuff, also pain management stuff. We even have socks for diabetics, which you don't have to be diabetic to use those socks. They're just super comfortable. There are no seams, and they're very soft and easy. But all right, so story number one that I want to share with you guys. So you guys know that I've been in this industry, CPAP industry, since CPAP was a brand new word. All the way back in 1988 was my very first CPAP setup. So back in those days, it was always the standard that you would actually go out to the patient's home and set up the CPAP. And you literally would set it up. I mean, you would go to their bedroom, set it up on their bedside table, run the hose noses, explain everything. And so over the years, it's gotten less and less because people over the years have learned and understood CPAP. So now when I'm talking with someone about CPAP, typically they've known someone who has CPAP. Could have been a family member. They've seen it before, heard of it before. Plus there's the internet. So people do a lot of research prior to having a CPAP set up. So back in those days though, it was absolutely, you would have, as a patient being set up on CPAP, you would have never known anyone who was on CPAP. So it would be completely brand new. And it was the very first time that I had two CPAPs to set up in the same home. And once I arrived, it was a husband and a wife, and they had me sit on the sofa in between the two of them. And we had the two CPAP machines, and I explained everything. They had different pressures. And the question that I was asked after having explained everything was the wife wanted to know. She said, well, how is this going to work? Aren't our hoses going to get tangled up when and I was like, no, wait. You don't have to worry about that because you're only using the CPAP whenever you're asleep. Okay, so my face is probably red, but that is a thing that really, really did happen. So I've got another story. More recently, this one is more appropriate, I think. Very recently, I had a young man who I set up on CPAP, 22 years old. Set him up about 6 months ago. And actually, it was earlier this week that after having been set up, and I haven't seen him for a little while, obviously about 6 months. When he came in 6 months ago, had his mask on for the pandemic, and I couldn't really see him, but he was moving very slowly. He was not very talkative, not even any eye contact, low confidence level, and no energy practically. 22 years old also. And so we went ahead and set him up on a CPAP according to the doctor's prescription. He didn't seem very excited about it. I explained everything, of course, as always. And I was so excited whenever I saw him at my door earlier this week. He came in and bright-eyed and energetic, and also, looking at his phone and communicating on his phone while he's communicating in eye contact with me. And so just a totally different person. Like his energy was different. He was different. He was moving faster and more acute, and just communicating. And I could just see a total difference in this young man. And so I was running his report, and I got a little excited. I said, oh my goodness, your AHI is less than 1. And he looked at me and said, oh my God, is that good? And I said, oh yeah, absolutely. That's good, because his AHI prior to having CPAP was in the 40s. So AHI, for those of you who might not know, AHI is your apnea hypopnea index. And if you're not sure exactly what that is, let me just briefly explain what that is. The apnea and hypopnea are two different things. Apnea means when your breathing completely stops altogether, zero breathing, no air movement whatsoever for at least 10 seconds. And a hypopnea, which is also hypoapnea, which just means almost an apnea, is when you're breathing, you're not really actually moving enough air in and out to be called respiration or ventilation. So in other words, you're still moving some air, but it's really just not enough. So it might as well actually be an apnea, because you're not exchanging carbon dioxide and oxygen in your lungs. So the apnea and hypopnea index is very simple. All it is how many times on average per hour you have an apnea plus a hypopnea. And then they call it an index. So they really just look at, let's say if you slept for, just to make numbers easy, I'm going to say you slept for 10 hours. And during those 10 hours, you had 100 total apneas and hypopneas combined. So maybe you had 80 apneas and 20 hypopneas. So that's 100. And then you just divide it by the 10 hours. So your apnea hypopnea index in that particular scenario would be 10. So it's just really that simple. But for this young man, his apnea hypopnea went from the mid 40s down to less than 1. I was celebrating with him, and he looked great. And, by the way, he was one case that actually never really had any problems. He took to the mask, took to the CPAP, didn't ever have to change out a mask. I know that's a dream situation for many of you guys who are struggling. So if you would tell me what your struggles are, I would like to know. If you would, in comments here, tell me what's going on with you guys and with your CPAP. Are you doing well with it? Are you having problems? Would you like to ask a question right here within the group? And we are here. And wow, somebody said, I don't look old enough to be a grandfather. Thank you, Loretta. Actually, I have 10 grandchildren right now. Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say that. All right, Belty Cat. He started CPAP in 1991. Goes way back. Goes way, way back also. So here, let's see what happening with Loretta. I had a cold and didn't use my CPAP for 2 nights because I couldn't breathe through my nose and didn't know what else to do. Well, actually, sometimes when you have a cold, let's think about what is going on there actually. It sometimes is a lot of congestion and actual mucus that's happening. And then other times it may not be so much the mucus, but just the swelling of the nasal membranes. So if it's just the swelling, then often the CPAP, the pressure of the CPAP will sort of open that up. So I hear all the time people saying, well, I had a cold, so I went ahead and tried to use my CPAP. At first, it didn't seem very good, but it sort of opened up. And that is actually what will happen many times when you have a cold. Also, I like to use some salt water. I make my own. I use distilled water. You take about 1 cup of distilled water and then get you some salt that is non-iodinized salt. So maybe sea salt or pink salt. So it's 1 cup of water and 1/4 teaspoon of the salt. Mix that together, and actually the percent you'll have is 0.09%, which is the same as normal saline, which is also the same as the amount of salt that is in your blood. And that's why it won't really burn your nose. It's very smooth, and it's not so harsh, yet it's really good at kind of clearing things out and breaking up mucus. 1 cup of water, 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt, non-iodinized. Make sure you do not use iodine. You don't want to use iodine in your nose, but use that in a neti pot, or you can even just, with clean hands, put it into your hands and kind of sniff it up your nose. But the neti pot is the best way to go, and clear it out as much as possible. Then put your CPAP on, and you'll find that often you can actually use CPAP when you have a cold, and it can really work very, very well. All right, let's see. Kimberly, hey, Kimberly, welcome again. She started CPAP in 2008 and doing great. And did you know that rhymes? That actually sounds pretty cool. All right. Judy Virgilio, mouth breathing, still wake up with sore throat even though I have a full face mask. Judy, I'm trying to remember if you have gotten a chin strap or not. I would recommend try a chin strap, even with that full face mask on. A chin strap, what might be happening is if when your mouth comes open, it changes the sort of the size that you would need to make that seal. Like closed mouth, I mean, you see, that's different. And so it may actually create a leak when your mouth comes open. So even with a full face mask, sometimes it's good to go ahead and use a chin strap in addition to the full face mask. That's something definitely be worth to try. Yes, 10 grandchildren. Absolutely. Have 10 grandchildren and 6 children. We're very blessed. All right. Let's see. We have another Harold issues, mask leaks. Can you, if you would, Harold, be a little more specific and let me know what kind of mask you're using, and tell me more about these mask leaks that you're having. All right, and now here's from William Sum. Common to feel more tired than prior to CPAP usage about 48 days in. Yeah, many people do actually feel worse. However, I would highly recommend talk to your provider, whoever's provided your CPAP. 48 days, you've been in it for a good chunk of time now. So if you're having leaks, they can look at your report and tell if you're having leaks, and perhaps, just through an interview with you can make some determinations as to what changes could be made Could it be a pressure change that's needed? If you happen to be someone who gets initially set up on a very wide range of pressures, sometimes initially the pressure is set at between 4 and 20, which is the full range of what the machine can do. And for some people, that wide range and the pressures changing through the night actually wake people up. And so it could be that, it could be just you need a different mask. Or sometimes everything about the CPAP is actually perfectly set the way it's supposed to be, and you may have other things not really CPAP related that are affecting your sleep. So I have some other videos that might tip you off on some ideas for this. I'm trying to remember the name of it. We'll just look through the videos and you'll see that it'll be titled appropriately to hopefully share some good information with you guys. All right, here's a big one from Jane. I've noticed that between the full face mask and the moisture from the heated hose, I've been less stuffy at night, even with the pollen load. That's right. Yeah, pollen is everywhere, especially if you're in the South. Right now, there's tons and tons of pollen, but the humidity in the CPAP machine can really make a difference. And by the way, if you're using a hypoallergenic filter in your CPAP machine, think about it. Now, all of the air that you're breathing through the night is going through that hypoallergenic filter. And so therefore, less chance of pollen, especially if you're one that sleeps with windows open. But even if you don't, that hypoallergenic filter in your CPAP machine is really a good thing. So definitely keep that changed out as appropriate as well. All right, Loretta is saying, it took me 8 months to find the right mask and start doing well with CPAP. But once it took, it was life changing. And yes, thank you for that, Loretta. That is exactly why I titled this video, You Got This. You got this. Because after having seen so many people answer this question exactly like that, and I'm so happy you're doing well, Loretta. That is what I know can be the end result for those of you who are having trouble. It's the reason that we started the group, CPAP for Beginners, over on Facebook. And so just to have some encouragement to hear that is really helpful. Thank you, Loretta. Belty Cat. I agree, Belty. Everyone needs a hose holder. It solves so many annoying issues. Yes, we have the CPAP hose holders, also called the CPAP hose lift, over on AffinityHM.com. They're $15. And I think it's like $2 or $3 for shipping, something like that. But we do ship free any orders over $50. So if you find something else, add it in there. You end up getting free shipping. And we do have a video also about the CPAP hose holder. If you want to see a demo of that, just check it out over on our YouTube channel. All right, and let's see, Chris, when did they start diagnosing central sleep apnea? Belty, I don't know the date of that, but central sleep apnea, just for those of you who may not really know the difference between obstructive sleep apnea and central sleep apnea, very simple. Obstructive is more of a mechanical type of situation. A central sleep apnea has to do with your brain stem and actually the triggering of the breath in your brain stem. So obstructive is literally where just you fall asleep, your body relaxes, and like your tongue or some other tissue is just blocking the airway. And then CPAP is able to go in and sort of provide an internal pressure, CPAP, continuous positive airway pressure, to sort of hold that open so that when you do relax, now the airway is still open and you'll continue to breathe normally. Central is very different. There may not be any blockage whatsoever. There probably isn't at that time. There's no blockage, but just your brain stem is not, triggering that breath. And then people who have central apnea need to have a different type of CPAP machine. It's actually called a ASV that will trigger. The machine will trigger a breath if you're not breathing enough through the night. And they are extremely expensive. A lot of people have mixed. So they may have some obstructive and some central sleep apnea. And you would know if you do, your machine will give you that information if you look at obstructive apnea versus central apnea on your sleep report. You'll see that. But as far as when they started diagnosing central apnea, I'm not sure, but I do remember seeing patients as early as the 90s, early 90s, who had some central sleep apnea. All right, good question. Thank you. All right, Harold, I use the Respironics Wisp. I will be okay when I put it on during the night. I notice it will leak. Well, if you the Wisp is a good mask. I like the Wisp. Perhaps try something different or a different size mask. Also, is it new? The nasal pillow masks tend to sort of wear out a lot faster than the other ones. So you may need a new one at maybe every 3 months, or maybe every 6 months. Keeping it clean is important too, because it's going to be sealing around the nair of the nose, and you want to make sure that it's clean. So a clean mask seals better. Absolutely. All right, so it looks good. So has anybody been, let me just take a look and see about the contest. Have you guys been putting in hashtag Cpap into the contest? Absolutely, I see that. So just in comments, if you haven't already done it, put in hashtag Cpap, and we are going to do a drawing here in just a minute. Thank you all for being here. All right, let's see. Oh, we got a lot more comments, okay. All right, Bob. Hey, Bob, how you doing, Bob? My ResMed scores have been 98 to 100 every night for the past month. AHI are between 0.2 and 0.7. I dream like never before and sleep 7 to 8 hours per night. I've been happier. They recently switched me to an AirTouch F20 mask with the memory foam. Oh yeah, that one is called the AirTouch, not to be confused with the AirFit. So the AirFit and the AirTouch are really the same exact mask, except the AirTouch has that foam. And yes, they are super comfy. If comfy is what you're looking for, they're different about cleaning though. You're not really supposed to let no water, but you can use a Cpap mask wipe on those masks. And I think they might not last quite as long, but if comfort is your thing, you can't really put a price on good sleep and dreams and being happier and having more energy and, getting rid of the morning headaches. So that's awesome. That is awesome news, Bob. I'm glad you're doing well, buddy. That's fantastic. All right, Loretta, it took me 8 months to find the right mask and start doing well with CPAP, but once it was life-changing. I might have put that one up there already. Thank you, Loretta. I like that comment so much we read it twice. All right. Robert. Welcome, Robert. Welcome to the show. I'm going to put your comment up here. I'm currently on the AirSense 10 machine. I've had it for 4 years. I'll be eligible for a new machine next year. Any good ones to upgrade? My insurance covers a new machine every 5 years. All right, so you like the AirSense 10, and I have heard good things, Robert, about the AirSense 11. If you're going through insurance and you don't have like an urgent need to get one right now, I would wait, because let's say you're 4 years in, you say, and you get a new one after 5 years. So you got another year before you get another machine. Just wait it out, get the AirSense 11. Right now, they're a little hard, depending on who your provider is, they're a little hard to get your hands on because of the recall and the manufacturing and the supply chain issues. They're very hard to get a hold of right now. If you had to have a machine right now, I would go with the ResVent iBreeze. We have those in stock, and hopefully we'll have the ResMed AirSense 11s in stock as well soon. I don't know exactly when, as many small companies, are having harder time getting them in stock than are the large companies right now. So, okay. All right. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. He said thanks. All right, you guys, I think it's time to do a drawing. So if you haven't already done it, go ahead and just like on the bottom of the screen right there, type into comments, hashtag CPAP, all one word, no spaces. You got about 10 seconds, and we're going to go ahead and do the drawing. Let's see who is going to win this gift card tonight. All right, here we go. Drawing now. And the winner of the AffinityHM.com gift card is William Sum, the new guy. All right. Congratulations, William. All right, William, I see you're watching from Facebook there. And congratulations, you have just won the AffinityHM.com gift card. So what I would ask is please just shoot us a message over either through the group or through the Facebook page. Let me know your email address. That's really all I have to have is your email address. And in the morning tomorrow, I will send you a gift card. And you can spend that any way that you like on AffinityHM.com. Congratulations and thank you. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate all you guys being into this drawing. And please say a great prayer for my super healthy, brand new grandbaby daughter. And I appreciate, again, you guys being here. And I will be doing a new video this week. It's going to be uploaded. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, it's AffinityHM over on YouTube. And if you haven't already joined the group in Facebook, it's called Cpap for Beginners. Not just for beginners, but also for you savvy Cpap folks, so you can help answer some questions and help some people out over there. So everyone is welcome to come on over to Facebook and join that group. Also, like our page, Affinity Home Medical. And by the way, we've got another contest going on. The grand prize is a Cpap cleaner. Prize number 2 is a free Cpap mask. Prize number 3 is some Cpap mask wipes. And right now, you can see that contest over on Cpap for Beginners. And that contest ends Saturday night, this Saturday, just in a couple of days. Saturday night at midnight, we're going to have 3 winners. And I'll let you guys know about that over on the Cpap for Beginners Facebook page. So again, thank you guys, everyone, for being here. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. Sleep well, sleep tight. You deserve it. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Bye, everybody. See you next time.